What is going on, y'all? We finally got some new upper control arms for the truck. It's been needing them ever since I got the lift kit, and I just really, for a while, I couldn't find them. Like, I couldn't find a brand that made them. I couldn't find nobody, and then I heard Cognito made them, and finally I found some. So we got the new upper control arms. They came in yesterday. Let me show you guys. So we got this big old Cognito box right here. To be honest with you, didn't think these things were this big. These things are freaking, they're huge. So I got them out of the box, kind of some better lighting here. And yeah, these things are freaking huge. I didn't think they were this big, but I guess it only makes sense. So these are gonna help the rod quality tremendously. Because if you look in there, look at those. They're just stock. It's kind of rusted out up there. Not rusted, but I mean, yeah, rusted. They're just old, nasty, crusty, and they need to be replaced pretty bad. So putting these in is going to help it a lot. And these are kind of offset a little bit. So they'll be... Gosh, that's going to look so good in there. I was kind of like test fitting them yesterday. Like that. Yeah, those are going to look good. And another reason I needed them is because right here you can see where the upper control arm is hitting. So it's just metal on metal. So these are kind of offset, so that'll sit in there and it'll come over that, leaving it room for it to kind of, you know, go down. And actually I have room to move, because right now whenever I hit a bump, it's just hitting that metal. It's not really giving it room to go down and compress. So it doesn't really make it good when I hit a pothole. Everything just kind of rattles. But so we're getting those tomorrow, and I'm still waiting on I can't remember if I said this in the last video or not. I'm still waiting on the warranty shocks to come in, because as you can tell, that shock is upside down and faded because of the exhaust. But that shock is upside down. It's supposed to be like that, but it's sitting like that. You see, both of them actually are. But I was told they can go either way. It really doesn't matter. But I've always seen them go the other way, and it never clicked into my mind until my truck started riding real bad, and like the ride quality is just gone terrible. But my truck's been riding real bad, and the rear end's been shaking for a while. I can never really figure out why, but now it makes sense. So these rear shocks are blown out. I got to get them replaced. And a new problem that I found today, this bumper that I got from Dealer Options, I got them to put it on because I didn't feel like fooling with it. So apparently when you get bumpers to do this custom mod, let me show you guys, kind of like a party trick almost. So you can really just take the bumper and, you know, just kind of move it around in there really good. Real flexible, kind of, you know, off-roading situations. You really need your bumper to flex. So whenever they install your bumper, you can really just let it kind of maneuver however you want. Nice. So yeah, you can kind of just maneuver it any way you really need to. So another thing I gotta get fixed. So that'll be an interesting conversation. But I noticed at work, you can see here it kind of starts, it's normal, and then down the line that it just gets thicker. So it's leaning this way, and it's leaning out, kind of, a little bit. So you can tell. Yeah, it's not supposed to do that. So the shock's got to get replaced, and I mean, really all you got to do is tighten it, but they should have tightened it to spec when they put it in my opinion. And I haven't even had this thing on for like 5 months. I mean, this thing's fairly new, so I gotta get that fixed. I gotta get the shocks fixed whenever they come in, but we're getting the upper control arms on tomorrow. I was gonna powder coat them gray to match the lift kit, but there's not really too many good people to powder coat in Augusta, so I just left it how it is. And I know some people run into problems like with them not fitting right, and like it'll get over tight and stuff like that, and so I didn't feel like dealing with that or any paint flaking, so I'm just gonna leave them black. It'll look fine. gonna look just like that one does, but bigger and better. And so look at that. So we're getting these on tomorrow, and yeah, I mean it should work out pretty good. But we are on the Daytona crunch because, like I said, I can't remember what I said in the last video or not. But we are going to Daytona this year. Missed out last year. Really hated that, but we're going to Daytona this year. I think I'm gonna keep the red and black look. Instead of switching everything up to chrome, I think I'm just gonna leave the red and black like it is. And just ride with it. I mean, it looks good. It looks fine. It looks pretty good going down the road. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I sent me a video of it going down the road the other day, and it looked pretty good. But I do have to get the lights fixed also, because we go to our fancy Mid-South LED app, scan, go to that. Put on white just because. Oh, we'll leave on yellow. So as you can see, these two work. That one works. That one does not. I've turned them off. I've turned them on. I've unplugged them. Nothing works. And I emailed Mid-South LED, and I've got no response. So I gotta wait till I can get those fixed. And yeah, lots to do. 3 months is a short amount of time. But other than that, the interior is starting to get, about to say better, but I really haven't done anything to it. But other than that, I mean, we still got tons of work to do to this thing to get it right for Daytona. But nonetheless, we will be going to Daytona. She still looks pretty good though. I mean, you gotta give her that. But I will see you guys tomorrow and let you know how the new upper control arms ride, and we'll go through all that tomorrow. I'll see you. Just give me 1 second. And we are back. So the truck got the upper control arms put on, and they look pretty good. They ride freaking amazing. You can really tell the difference, and I mean, they just look real good. So the only thing they did have to cut out right there, which normally I've heard a lot of people do that. I think that's what you're actually supposed to do. Cut that out, because when it wasn't, the upper control arm was just hitting on that, like I showed you on the last part. It was just metal on metal, and so it doesn't really give it, you know, room to kind of flex like it needs to. So they cut that out, and then I mean, other than that, no problems. Everything fit fine like it should, and they look awesome. They ride amazing. It's so much better than the stock ones. But the new uppers are in, and I can't be more happy. I was gonna get them powder coated, but I mean, they're fine black. They look great. They ride amazing. I would go for a test drive, but I'm still waiting on the shocks to come in from Agoy's. Still haven't got those in yet. But my rear shocks are blown out because they were installed the wrong way. Which I know, I've heard you can go either way, but every shock I've seen goes the body down, the rest of it up, not vice versa. So I'm not picking any arguments. I know how I want it and how it should be, at least in my point of view. But I gotta get an alignment on the truck, and then we should be all right. Truck still needs some work for Daytona, but slowly but surely we are getting there with the truck. Things are getting replaced, stuff's getting fixed, and the truck is starting to ride better. It's getting there. The ride quality is not 100% where I want it, but I mean, we're about 85 right now. We're about at 85. But if you're wondering if the Cognito shocks are worth it, to me, yes they are. They make everything better. Okay, I lied. I said I wouldn't go for a drive, but we're going for a drive. So before, I wasn't able to full turn, and now I can. It's still not, like, the steering's really not where I want it to be. But like I said, it is getting better. Yeah, so now, I mean, I can full turn, no problems. Before I could, it's just a little bit harder. But it's not as bumpy as it was. I don't feel every little thing in the road. And also, like before when I would like hit like a small pothole, like, I try to avoid them at all costs. But if I would hit just like a little small bump, I mean, I would feel everything. Which is still, like I said, it's still not where I want it to be, just because the rear shocks are not how they need to be. I mean, they're blown out, so I gotta get those replaced, and then I can really tell. But I mean, as far as what it was, way better. Should probably put the yeah, as far as what it was way better, or it's way better, rides a whole lot smoother. So there you have it. If you're wondering if these Cognito arms are worth it, or you just want a review on them, whatever you're watching this video for, if you're just watching to watch it, I appreciate the view. But yeah, these Cognito arms, definitely worth it. So worth the money. Better than just buying some cheap ones or just replacing stock ones. If you're lifted and you got big wide tires, or if you just lifted or you just want new control arms, they're definitely worth the money. They took the crappy ride quality that I had and turned it into something halfway decent. But like I said, I still got stuff I gotta fix to get it 100% the ride quality where I want it. Like, the main thing's the rear shocks. If I can get those fixed, the ride quality would be, I mean, 90% better. But these arms are definitely worth it. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. Shout out to Cognito for being one of the only companies that actually have an upper control arm for like a 06 Silverado 1500 half-ton truck, because like any control arms that I could find, they were diesel only, 2500 and all that, and I know it's all different parts, so they're the only ones that had them for a 1500. So shout out to them for actually having them, because they were clutch. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had control arms. Kryptonite didn't have them, McGuire's didn't have them, Freedom Off-Road, I could never find anything on their website. I heard that they had them, but there was only for like a 2 to 4 inch lift, something like that. So, I mean, they really didn't have them either. So, Cognito was the only ones that had the upper control arms for the truck. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the view. Stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of truck content coming up for Daytona. I might even try and get a couple other builds on the channel just to have content, because I'm slacking like no other. But, yeah, we're going to... Gosh, we got lots to do to this truck before Daytona. So, appreciate you guys watching, and peace.